Twitch and or YouTube. Welcome back to my regular stream. It's 2:30 p.m. EST, Tuesday, September 12th. Happy almost fall. I'm excited to get to some triage and maintenance work today on typescript-eslint. Woo! I'm showing off to any fellow open source maintainers here. Got through all my GitHub notifications by just silencing or checkmarking any that I knew I'd get to eventually. So it's a bit of a hack, a bit of a cheat. But, you know, whatever works, works. Today, I'm going to be mostly, I think, spending time on typescript-eslint, which is the tool that lets you run ESLint and prettier, similar JS tools on TypeScript code. Because I'm one of the core maintainers on the project, I am a full-time open source maintainer, and yeah, I do a lot of stuff around TypeScript in the ecosystem. If you want to support me, I would appreciate that greatly. I'm github.com/sponsors/Joshua K. Goldberg. So hit me up. I also wrote the book, Learning TypeScript. Been getting used to sending all these commands in the chat. So, the first thing I wanted to work on is this blog post that we've had in review for a little while about using parser options.project equals true. Look at that lovely GitHub UI bug. But I've reset my repo up locally and hit a small snag trying to get the thing to build. So first of all, if I run yarn -- version, I get yarn 1. I don't know why. It's not defaulting or detecting yarn v3. It previously did. We recently updated from yarn 1 to yarn 3. So that's a whole thing. Oops. Then if I do, where's my command? Node.yarn releases yarn, whatever I can, in fact, install. While that's running, Adrian, hello, yes, things are good. Thanks for coming by. I don't know when we last chatted. I was actually just in France for a wedding, an old friend. Someone who's also in tech, so it's always cool to hang out with tech people and talk about literally anything other than code. But I just got back last night, so I'm still a little jet lagged. I've had a couple of rather intense cups of coffee. But how are you doing? And by the way, I always forget to mention, if anyone wants to chat about tech, dev, life, whatever, feel free to post in the chat. Always happy to talk. What's going on with this build? Why are you doing this, Yarn? Did the UI freeze? Okay, UI froze. Whatever. I use PNPM in my personal projects, so anyway, yarn starts. So this is a fresh repo. I just ran yarn the install, which we have a PostScript that runs build. But just to confirm, actually, before I dive into that red text, what happened? Yarn build is supposed to mostly just go from cache. I don't know why it didn't go from cache for ESLint plugin. Took 5 seconds. This is fine. Then yarn starts. We get this unfortunate. Oh, yeah. There we go. Cannot find module. Blah 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 blah. Website-eslint dist index.js. What is going on? So we have a packages website eslint package that is just this quick little rebuild of ESLint, TypeScript ESLint, some stuff so that it can run in the website. The website has a lovely playground that runs ESLint for you. Console log. Hi, it's got like TypeScript and ES-tree visualizers and all sorts of stuff. We don't build website ESLint by default as part of the build because it's kind of slow and it's only ever used for the website. It's like an internal only thing, basically. Which then brings up a question of, well, we need to at least somehow mention that this doesn't build by default or do it for people. And shout out to Zamiel back in the day, James, for posting this. So in theory, we could like do some sort of fancy schmancy, like yarn start depends on website ESLint build. But I don't know. I don't have the energy to work on that. I'm not like a big like NX person, so I'm gonna try, but no guarantees this works. So first up, I'm going to post on the socials to try to get fancy build script dependencies working to resolve gotcha in building the TypeScript website locally. Yeah, that's a good phrasing. Posted the link in the chat. See how this goes. All right, so we use NX. For those who haven't used NX, it's a really nice, what's the website? Yeah, build system. It lets you create monorepos with super fancy schmancy caching and dependencies. So like A depends on B. So if you want to build A, it'll automatically build B. Both can be cached. Turbo repo is another thing in the ecosystem that does that. One of our maintainers is on the NX team, so it's been real nice having that around. Shout out James Henry. So website ESLint, project JSON, so targets. So it's got this, like, not super familiar. I like deep dive every 6 months or something. I always forget everything. But the website ESLint project locally under packages website ESLint has targets. So lint is the NX built-in, like, run ESLint for me. NX linter :ESLint. And it's got build, which is this quick little build script, build.ts, which like uses, ES build to build a website. That's cool. Then we have website package JSON, which has starts, which is just a Docusaurus start. So Docusaurus is a really nice static /doc site generator. What do they call themselves? God dang it, there are my texts. I'm gonna have to blur that out of YouTube later. Yeah, build optimized websites quickly, focus on your content. Very cool. One of our maintainers is also like a Docusaurus contributor person. All right, so I'm wanting a website package JSON, or no, project JSON. So targets builds, because they're like depends on website ESLint build. Does that work? Can I oh wait, no, I wanted start depends on website ESLint build. Can I do that? Does not have an executor configured. Oh boy, executor. So an executor, I'm guessing, is a shell or script or something. NX runs script. So like I'm inferring executor is the thing that gets run when you ask for the target. So instead of Docusaurus start, we'd say NX start and then the script to run. Script. Start script. I don't know what I want to call this. So can I do start script? So I'm saying the start script. I'm going to call this Docusaurus starts temp. Temporary names. So we want us when we start. It depends on the website ESLint's build, and when we do it, we do NX run script with the script Docusaurus start temp, which I'll probably find a better name for eventually. So apparently it depends on AST spec build. That's a lot of things. Why is it doing all of them? I just wanted to run website ESLint build. Okay, so other projects do target build projects dependencies. Projects, what is projects? Is there like a info text on this? Can I look up anyone else's projects? Just dependency self. In theory, I should read the NX docs. So this is cool. It actually worked. That's cool. Projects. Can I just say website ESLint? And then target build. So I'm saying the start target in website depends on website ESLint build, which I guess depends on 13 tasks. Okay, so this might be like an NX thing that's just detected that, so I'm not going to focus too much on it. But I don't really want to do NX run script because I don't want a separate script for this. Can I just do NX run commands and then do commands? Docusaurus start. Does that work? Love this NX extension thingy working. Can't find the config file. Interesting. Wonder if it's like a current. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be like a CWD issue. Yes, packages, websites. Does anyone else have to set this? No. Workspace folder? Oh, no, that's a VS Code thingy. Ignore that. Okay, yeah, so other things have had to say the packages, whatever, is their current working directory. I thought this would be much more difficult. Shout out NX. Cool. Seems to be working because the Docusaurus site is building and compiled successfully. Yay, okay. I like it. Yay, Docusaurus. Yay, NX. Check out the... What am I checking out here? What's the branch name? Website depend on... Website start depend on website ESLint build. Build. Sure, website. Have start depend on website ESLint build. And let's send that pull request. Boop. Where is the issue? There we go. 7417. Uses an NX target so that we can indicate it depends on website ESLint's build. Locally, it seems to run build for other packages, which, come to think of it, is probably good to make sure they're up to date for website ESLint. Because it is possible that someone could like switch branches to somewhere very different in the history that has a different website ESLint, and be good to make sure that, or like different website ESLint and or different other packages it depends on. So that's cool. And since James is our resident NX member of the team, what is he, director of engineering Narwhal? Yeah, I think I'll request his review. Cool. That makes me happy. And of course, I have to post this on the social media. Yay! Things. Okay. Oh my god, blue sky again with this. What is happening? Okay. Well, next up, the blog post that I wanted to look at. So, blog post is almost ready for publishing. Very exciting. 0, GDPR, check out this. Gotta set my default repo for the GitHub command line because this is a new clone. Pull. Where is my node yarn releases? What? Where is yarn? What? Oh, I need to merge from master. Or partly main. It's been so long this branch probably doesn't have all sorts of things in it. Ooh, yeah, look at all those new and edited files. That's an out-of-date branch. Push. Emma! Glad to see you here. How's it going? Node.yarn releases. Whatever. Let's install. That was fast. Start. While this is loading, let's talk about the blog post. Parser options.project equals true. I'm also tired, a little jet lagged, but I'm in a good mood. I'm happy, progressing. Always happy to be going through issues. Got my purple lights, so that makes me happy. I'm actually sitting down because I was just standing a bunch for a Michigan TypeScript thing. Talking to Emma from Biome.js, really cool project there. So, I made a blog post. Where is it? Annoyed that that title is not backticked. But we released a new feature a little bit back, a few months ago. How long ago was this? I don't know. For context, one of the big things typescript-eslint does is enable typed linting, which is the act of using TypeScript's type checker APIs in lint rules. Allows the lint rules to be a lot more powerful, but requires some configuration so we know what TypeScript configuration to use to generate types for your rules. Previously, you had to specify explicitly the path or paths to your project or projects. Now we say project 2 is allowed so that you can... that's a Gmail link, that's funny. So that you can just say, okay, whatever the closest TS config is for everyone. So that's really nice, that's convenient, people love it, we love it. But I've got a blog post I've been meaning to write about it for a while. So I'm gonna say, let's change the formatting there. This was actually pointed out in the PR, which I posted in the chat, that the formatting was all silly. Also, Armano, one of the other maintainers, suggested, oh yeah, in Docusaurus having a relative import, so that for local hosts or Netlify deploys or whatnot, it's not hard linked to the production website. I agree. So let's commit that. Git pull. Merged. Commit. Git pull. I actually I probably should have mentioned this on Twitter or some such, but yeah, I think I'm going to publish this blog post. Oh wait, no, it's not going to publish today. It's going to publish. We release new versions of the website every Monday along with the tooling. So what's today? What is this coming Monday? Does Google support that category? The 18th. So this will publish on the 18th, actually, not the 12th today, Tuesday. We release new versions weekly, so. Publish date 18th. Oops. And also let's post this on social media. Next, last few touch-ups on a blog post explaining parser options.project equals true. Oop. Moment of truth. Will Blue Sky post an error? Yes. Yes, it will. Really gonna take over Twitter today, guys. Y'all, folks. Okay. Anyway, this blog post mostly good to go, so formatting with the space for email. So that's not too much work. Resolved. Very fun. Okay. Now that I've gotten through the pre-planned things. Oh, one last pre-planned thing, actually. I have this bizarre issue. It's so annoying. Where I can't run the playground specifically locally. If I, let's see, yarn build. Let that run through its cache and build. Yeah, if I try this locally, I get like a where is the call stack? Cannot read properties, whatever, undefined. What? Start. /play. I don't know what that little error that showed up on the screen is, but infinitely waiting. Oh my god, it works now. Would you look at that? Well, I'm not gonna look at that warning because I don't want to. And no one's reported it yet. And other people have been touching the playground. Wow, so the issue went away this morning. I don't know what the change was. Hasn't been the first time I've switched computers on a fresh install. But hey, I'll take it. Also, I'm not even going to post this online. I'm just going to close. So was there unable to repro? Yay. Love to see it. What a stupid issue title. Playground linting and whatever doesn't trigger locally on specifically my Macs. Joshua K. Goldberg's. Nice. Okay. So I've got the bookmark, which we're going to go through now, for open issues that aren't awaiting response from an author and aren't label accepting PRs and aren't a linked PR and aren't external and aren't a question, blah, blah, blah. Just going to the second page there. My Mac is the gold standard. Except I didn't get the gold one because I thought that would be too on the nose given my last name. But yes. It's the weirdest thing because it wasn't broken for anyone else's computer, and it wasn't broken for anyone, even me on prod. It was just development was broken on specifically my two computers. Whatever. We're going to ignore this meta issue for the indent rule because lol. Don't want to touch formatting. Nothing for me to do there anyway. And go to this triage issue from June 27th. July, August. It's been like 2.5 months. That's awkward. Let's see. Brad and this person were talking. What's happening? So, for the let me actually post in the chat online. Is there anything to talk with? Yeah, I'm just quickly scanning it. It looks like it wasn't resolved. So I will, in fact, take a look onto the issue triaging. First up, enhancement for the utils package. Blue sky work? Huh, okay. Good for you, Blue Sky. Okay, so, util package. Suppose I'm writing a lint rule that detects the number of lines in a file, whatever, reports an error, tells them something. So, we have I see what this is. We have a create rule helper in our custom rule docs. Rule creator, that creates a create rule. It's great set of docs in that people are constantly asking how to do things that are in the docs. And it's a single page and I think well written. So I don't know why that's so unfortunately not being read. But what people want to do is be able to specify the type of message data. Is that mentioned in the docs? No, it's not. Let's go to the ESLint custom rules website docs. Yes, because we're just an extension on ESLint, a lot of the times core concepts are just in ESLint land. So you can provide data for a rule. Like here it says unexpected identifier, then data identifier, no dot name. Yeah, so this isn't type safe, this data object. And in fact, I'm pretty sure we've had issues from it before. If we go to like any arbitrary rule that has data, let's say JSON overload signatures, and then typo it. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. Right. There's an ESLint plugin called ESLint plugin. It's the ESLint plugin that lints ESLint plugins that has statically detected, or with some kind of like AST analysis, detected when you have a mismatch, but we don't have it in the type system. So like, here we go. If you disable the rules, which I just did with shortcuts, nothing's letting you know you got name 2 instead of name. So Brad and this person were talking about it. I think it's a great idea. They wanted to create a PR. Just skimming Brad's. Types are pretty complex, and we don't want to overcomplicate things. Learner, so glad to see you. How's it going? Let's see here. Did I post this in the chat? I did. All right, so my message ID is whatever. Hello, placeholder. Oops. Types are some wizardry with template literal types. We need a way to validate that the placeholders all appear. We need a way to validate the string placeholders are all defined. Yeah, so... Oh, they posted a playground link in the issue. Why does this never defer? My system is set to light mode. What are you talking about? So they did a prototype. Oh my word. Yeah, this is a lot of TypeScript typing. Yeah, I'm gonna mixed feelings. All right, good to have happy in the mix. +1 that the rule types are already pretty complicated, and though I personally would not be in favor. Personally, I'm not yet in favor of the opinion that the complexity is worth the added type safety, especially given that folks often are verified by ESLint plugin, ESLint plugin. What a great name. Let's just go to its repo, find rules for, what was it? What was the thing that I had to disable? For no missing placeholders and no unused placeholders. So no missing and no unused. And or rule tests. I'm gonna make these links a little easier to read. Plugin, what was this one? Marking as evaluating community engagement, which is our friendly way of saying we probably will, which for this specific context is our friendly way of saying want this unless a bunch of people ask for it and provide with strong reasons why it should be done. Thanks for 5. Oh, dang it, typo. W-A-N-T. Util, package utils, and evaluating community engagement. Cool. So that was a triage. Refreshing it, so I'm down to just one page. Haha, 25 issues. Ignoring dependency dashboard. Prefer read-only parameter types. Mention problem with third-party interfaces. Last commented July 11th. Let me take a look now. Was it July, August? So this is down to only 2 months old. Yay. Next, a docs request for prefer read-only parameter types. Oh yeah, what with the pains? Glad to hear that. Blue sky, not even doing the link thingy. Dang it. Delete. Good caching, blue sky, good. What is happening with this app? Alright, what's going on? 7179. For the prefer... This is a rule that I'm like, does this even belong in core? Such an opinionated thing. Open to the side, file a note that maybe we should talk internally about whether this is something we want. It's not clear at all that this rule requires deep read only, since you can't change third-party libraries. Well, deep read only is not silver. You waste time figuring out why this rule omits errors. So should we mention the docs? Yeah, so the rule generally is saying that if you have the rule enabled, it will enforce that all your parameters are read-only, which is a difficult thing for some projects to get to because mutability is kind of the default for the type system, so you have to do a lot of extra work for this. But it can be nice to make sure you don't accidentally change your parameters. So like here, if you have a function that takes in an arg string array, the rule would say, no, because you might mutate that arg. Instead, do like read-only string array or something like that. So that says you can't, for example, let me just copy and paste the rule. You can't do like arg.push. Hi, that's not allowed because it's read-only string. If you remove the read-only, now the lint rule complains. Okay. So they're saying that the docs aren't clear that it needs to be deep. A type is considered read-only if it is a primitive type, its function, it is a read-only array, it's an object type whose properties are all marked as read-only, and those values are all considered read-only. I guess this never explicitly says that third-party types tend to be off, so I guess it makes sense to document. So they didn't know about the playground. Linked in the header, mentioned in the rule issue template, tisk. Yeah, I can see why you'd want the docs here. I think it makes sense. Sense to note in the docs that third-party types are often not read-only. Utils such as typefest can be useful. There are trade-offs, as mentioned. Trade-offs. Mention the docs. The trade-offs in this thread. Yep, accepting PRs. Yay! Yeah, that's a general vibe that often ends up being the right one. Add it to the docs. Okay. Next up, GWrath. Oh, I recognize GWrath. They've been around for a while. Oh, I've been forgetting to check whether people are on Twitter or whatnot. Tisk, Josh. Oh, well. GWrath. Yep, not on. No invalid void type. False positive on generics. What's going on? The repro is mx returns void, whatever t is, and then we log and return void undefined. Oh, and then also the same complaint issue about promises. Why would you have a map from string to void? What is that for? Oh yeah, I remember this now. there's okay, so in the docs, we don't say anything expressing why. Void is flag. What is this? Where are the docs? Fun fact, Playground has a nice little link to the docs. And allow generic type arguments. Ooh, whitelist. We've been trying to rename to allow list. Amusingly, I think the message is missing a argument parameter. Today, the rule allows parameters. The complaint is on arguments. Oh boy. Oh yeah, grep was the initial implementer. That's funny. This is a general bug, maybe combined with naming. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. No. I think that'd be too much. Most of the time, void isn't the right. Not most of the time. Option, e.g. array of void. Probably should. So I was thinking here, yeah, I like this suggestion. Add an option. Makes sense to me. We can treat it as a breaking change in V7 for V7 to give yeah, so we want to mess the options around. Fun fact, in case it wasn't clear, there's a difference between a parameter, which is something you declare, and an argument, which is something you pass to a parameter. You give an argument. So we can treat it as a breaking change, a bit more flexibility in option naming. Thoughts, Triage team? Cool. Did I post this online? Alrighty. Well, anyway, that's that. Next. Oh yeah, this fun one. Cannot find module or its corresponding type declarations. Fix user error working as intended. We dropped support for node 10 in module resolution. Wasn't there an arguments object somewhere in JS2? What do you mean by arguments object? There's wait, yes. Function log stuff. Yeah, there's also log arguments log stuff A B C. Yep. Arguments is an array like object, which has, I don't know if it's if it is literally an array or is it an array? It is not an array, but it is like an array that contains all the past things. Nowadays, we normally just do rest args instead. Make it a little easier. Okay. Bug, bad types. Oh, from Jake Bailey from the TypeScript team. This will be fun. See if anyone commented on here. So there's been a little bit, a good amount of discussion. Messages back and forth. On to a discussion from Jake Bailey. This should be good and juicy. About types and symbols. Yeah. Symbols. One of the least used language features in userland code. No one likes symbols. Alright. But they're surprisingly useful. Oh yeah, you did a good workshop. What was the workshop? So bad types, imported symbol type is mistaken for the global symbol type. So Jake is saying that our bad types rule, which says don't use these particular types, is saying that if you create your own symbol type, which unless you are working on a project that involves like ASTs or something, low chance of you actually doing that, but that's funny. Uh, oh, that's nice. Oh, you mentioned you do those workshops, Learner. That's awesome, man. So, don't use symbol as a type. Use symbol instead. So yeah, it's your own symbol. Symbol. True. Does this still happen if you make your own? Yeah. So even if it's not imported, even if it's just you make your own type interface symbol. Don't use symbol as a type. Use symbol instead. So Jake is saying it's banned. Ban type rules intentionally very simple and just bans the type name. It is contextless, so it can ban type names. That means you can't do things like ban food because your code base has changed naming convention, or ban the name T to catch a common case and enforce more descriptive names. Do we add an option to allow local type names? I think there's value in this, limited as it may be. There's a rare case where the autofixer can break code, so we do need to add some scope analysis. Yep, scope analysis, like so it knows if this is like a local type or imported or whatever. Okay, yeah, so he was doing the same thing I just did, where he has like an interface. Okay, so yeah, accepting PRs. I think, as a separate note, I think it also makes sense to update the error message when this new option isn't enabled. If someone maybe text, don't use symbol as a type, use symbol instead. Actually, no, I don't know what to do there. Is there a possibility to mess up the AST for JavaScript or augment it as easily as it were for, say, Python? Do you mean like from a tooling perspective or for like writing code? If you mean from a tooling perspective, yeah. Babel actually has really good support and equivalents to as well for adding in your own like Babel plugins. If you want to like try out a new language feature, you can find this plugin. If you want to experiment writing your own feature, you can do that. Other plugin thingies have equivalents. Yeah, let me know what you mean. Also, I never posted this link in the chat. Oops, the issue. Accepting PRs. Okay. So we got an unable to repro one from a month and a half ago, almost 2 months. I was just skipping to the end. They updated the repro. The issue with a repro. Indeed, that was fun. Yeah. Now for a previously not repro'd issue that seems to now have a repro. And who was this from? Bolakana? Oh, from Japan. Cool. Hi, Thomas. No Twitter link. Oh, yeah. Clever modules that change usual behavior of the runtime. Clever is not always a good thing, right? That sounds confusing. Oh, I messed up the Blue Sky link, whatever. It's only the third platform that I joined on. First being Twitter, second being Mastodon. Alright, unsafe call. This might be a Veet thing. They updated repro link. Yep. Added the get repro. Okay. That's pro tip, by the way. I recommend making it a dedicated repros, or like reproductions repro repository. So like my Joshua Kohlberg /repros or reproductions is a repository in GitHub that I just have a whole bunch of branches for all these different reproduction cases. But all right, package readme, they have instructions. It's clearly a fork of a template. Oh boy, spam in the chat. How do I? banned, block, report. It's always wild to me the categories they suggest here. Oops. Like terrorism. Each spam, clear spam, not asked for. Submit. So that's cool. Yay! Yeah. So Vmern. I see there's a package lock JSON. So I'm gonna see, do they have repro steps? NPMI. Was like standard dependencies. I think I saw this previously and saw them. Lints. Ooh, look at this. What is this formatter? The table formatter. That's cool. We run with the wider. Why doesn't it make those wider? Unsafe call of any type of value. So, okay, this is like a useless comment, my guy. My friend. A screenshot without repro steps? What are you doing? I'm getting too salty. I need to take a break soon. So, if you're not seeing it, open another file like app and then go back. Aha! Cannot find model React. Goodbye. TSX. Is there a TS config? We can run build. How do we effectively reproduce bugs? Great question. Just give me the steps I need to get it running locally, to like see it myself, to be able to debug it. Most of the time that's on the typescript-eslint playground. That's typescript-eslint.io/play. If it's too complex, such as this issue, whoa, look at that Chrome bug, Monaco bug. That's cool. This is like a flickering scroll bar. If it's too complex for the playground, such as with this issue, then make a new repository, or gist or code sandbox or something that I can get locally and include instructions for how to set it up. This one doesn't have instructions to how to set it up, which is kind of annoying. But I can generally kind of figure it out. npm run client dev. I tried cloning the repro production at, where is it? But it doesn't have instructions for setting up, and npm run client. Before I give up on this, solve error, unable to load a solver alias. This is complete. I'm gonna see if assignment of an any value. Okay, so that's actually the issue. So maybe I am seeing the issue. I'm getting annoyed too easily these days. I don't know what's happening. Early onset burnout or something. Vite not found. Yeah, it's because I don't have Vite as a dependency, or as a, pardon me, as a globally installed thing. So I have to do npx Vite, or maybe npmi Vite-d to save as a dev dependency. Annoying. Let's see if add all head npmi npm run client dev. When I npm run client dev, if I, after I npmi Vite-d, you must have, I'm guessing you have Vite installed globally on your system. I don't. To get it installed as a dev dependency of the project. Next error is waste of time to have to do this. But you know what? Not everyone knows how to do these things. It can be hard to know what you have on your computer. like I know I've done this thing before where I think something works, but without any global installs. And it turns out I had like some random tool installed globally that meant that other people couldn't run the thing. I think call it any type value. TSC. Note that that TypeScript itself running with TSC also gives complaints for that repository. Yeah, readmes are important. So you have two issues. One is that your repository doesn't, so I think, what is that your repository doesn't have TypeScript it has TypeScript type errors separately from typescript-eslint. So I think there are two issues. Less personal, accusatory. One is that the repository has type errors separately from the typescript-eslint. It can't resolve types. So it can't resolve types because it's missing some dependencies. Missing and or cannot properly resolve some dependency types. The second problem is that I can't reproduce, how do I say this nicely? The second problem is that I want to say something like you keep filing stuff that doesn't have a reproduction case. So I think the root issue is that closing for now, as this seems like a repository specific issue. If you manage to fix the TypeScript type errors so that TSC produces no complaints, then feel free to post back an issue. Please keep in mind that we are volunteer maintainers and have a very limited time budget. It's not nice. It's very difficult for us to find the time to wade through. If you do, please post a full reproduction that works without any previously installed, that works, that includes a list of commands. I don't want to bold this, that seems like I'm being too aggressive. That includes a list of commands. I don't need a list for this. Ironic. Commands necessary to get the project running locally. Don't assume we maintainers have any project-specific tools installed globally, such as Vite. I'd recommend trying in a fresh environment, such as a GitHub code space, to be sure. The issue isn't dependent anything on your local machine. A comprehensive set of instructions. I love that. Thank you. Comprehensive instructions. This is hard because I'm very irritated by this, but that's because I'm getting burned out and I'm in a bad mood and I'm jet lagged and I don't know. That's me. I'm irritated, but this is not an irritating thing that they're doing. What they're doing is they have an issue and they've done their best to post the issue. So my irritation is more of an on me thing right now, I think, than them. I personally believe that they're in good faith and they just like don't have full context for how to properly report issues, which is why we're being so helpful here. And I'm constantly writing something, thinking it's too sassy, and then deleting the thing. I don't want to be sassy. So this is me being nice, trying to be. Not a bug. Not under triage. Unable to repro. Go away. Oop, typo. It shouldn't assume. We maintain it so many projects. Okay. Hooray! Glad you understand, learner. Thanks. Configs. Oh, this was posted by me and it's under triage, and no one responded yet from the mainness. Oh, Zamio responded. So, Elian, hello. I was just talking with one of your coworkers. How's it going? Enhancement. Allow using dependency constraints to test for existence of optional dependencies. This should be juicy. Rebecca Stevens is a smart one. We've worked together on some projects. They've posted a lot of good issues. Yeah, that issue was a bust. Lol. Move this one. I have much more faith in. Shout out, repeat. Shout out, Rebecca Steve. I want to say I remember them not having a Twitter link, but just to be sure. You're in Paris. Oh, funny. I was just in Paris. Super jet lagged and didn't have enough time to do anything, but yay. Quick Paris. That should be exciting. Cool that Quick has conferences now. Still feels new to me. Oh, yeah. Wait, what was... Oh, yeah. What is it? Oh, it's a GIF? That's cool. What is the issue? A feature request for... what is this? Rule tester. Okay, 7321. Not being confused with 4321, the new default port for Astro apps as of Astro 3. Alright. Dependent constraints currently assumes that the dependency is installed, but when testing against an optional peer dependency not being present, Arizona cannot find module, typescript, whatever package JSON. What is dependency constraints? What is rule tester? We have a package called rule tester that is a fork of the built-in ESLint rule tester that provides better types and additional features for testing TypeScript rules. We had to do it. Long story. It's got, let me post the link. Test dependency constraints. So you can say that certain rule tests or things will only run in a particular, if you have these, which is useful if you're doing like CI where you have different builds running with different dependencies to make sure you work on those different dependencies. For example, if you want to have TypeScript version 3 and 4 and 5 being tested. So we say if you want to say only if my dependency is this version or only if it's in a particular range. Yay. So it doesn't seem to work if it is listed as an optional peer dependency. So what is the use case? What truly option? I do have the question. Why? It currently assumes that the dependency installed, but when testing against an optional peer dependency not being present, it can't be found. Okay, so I see what happened. So they have rule tests set up where they specify a dependency constraint, and then they don't have that dependency installed because it's an optional peer. So what they're doing is they're installing dev dependencies, compiling, switching the version of Node, switching the version of TypeScript, or just removing it altogether if testing in JS environments. Why are you testing JS separately from TS? Why not lint? But other packages can port. So they're saying I can imagine other use cases for optional peer dependencies. I can't. I honestly can't. Marking as evaluating community engagement for a while to see if anyone else does. I want to make this a humorous tone. Alien, does Astro support Quick? I feel like it does, right? Also, what is Astro? Evaluating community engagement. Well, that was fun. Funny I mentioned that, not at the moment. But are you not able, or are you able to perhaps indicate that you might announce at Quick conference this current week? Also, how is Paris? How are you liking it? I really enjoy Paris. Great food, great cafes. Oh, Mike comes soon. Okay, less excited. All right, another one. Repro set up a system to give contributors roles on Discords. That's something I've been meaning to do for ages. Well, that's exciting. I hope you get to see. Is Zamiel on Twitter? I forget if I looked this up. Nope. All right. Am I gonna get through this list? I don't want to say it because whenever I say will I get through my whole list, as something ends up getting all takes forever to get through, and also I have a lot left, so probably not. But we'll see. Formatting deprecated rules are not clearly delineated in the rule list. Another docs one. One now around formatting deprecated rules. That's true. Paris and Belgium are close together-ish. Not so close to me, though, because I'm currently across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. Rules lessons reference lists all the rules. This is true. This is good. Whoops. That's the ESLint rules reference. Did they mean the ESLint rules reference lists all the ESLint rules? Is that what they meant? Look at all those core ESLint rules. So many of them. And removed. However, the layout doesn't capture which ones are format. Did they just link to ESLint instead of us? Is that what happened? Rules. TypeScript rules, extension rules, and yeah. We have like sections in the sidebar, and then we have like supportive rules, extension rules. Why don't we? I feel like I remember this being a discussion. Why don't we have formatting and deprecated in the main table? 65% income tax? Are you serious? That's wild. That's a lot. I don't know how much of my income is spent on healthcare. I don't know if it's that much, but honestly, it might be for some. Okay, so there is discussion here. Oh, sorry, Zamiel, I missed your message 2 weeks ago. Yeah, let's 4 separate lists. Just add the information to the table itself as a column. Oh, interesting. So, yeah. So Brad says we could similarly consider merging in the two tables. Right now we have a table for supportive, a table extension. Yeah, it'd be nice to simplify everything together. Sorry for the delay. Let's say this is accepting PRs. Triage accepting websites. Cool. Nice and easy. Make a fun 404 page. That one was filed by me. I'm going to skip it. If anyone has an idea for a fun 404 page, by the way, learningtypescript.com has a 404, which I'm kind of proud of. It's like a little TSC error message there. I cannot find name. cute. Also, up, down, left, right. BA is what I just typed into my keyboard. Emoji explosion. Woo. Yay. Okay. Repo website, DocuSource, PWA's debug mode enabled. Ruby's on the sky. I feel like I've seen them somewhere. Oh no, they're totally private. Good for them. Let's get that out of here. Them emojis. So more about the website. My effort in typing up these tweets / posts / whatever has been decreasing each one. My God, Blue Sky, get your act together. All right, so we enabled plugin PWA options.debug, and as a result, all these logs. I really just like logs and prod in the console. It's annoying. But means it's easy to debug things in production. Yeah, so closed. Won't fix. Okay. Easy. Closed. It is, I will say, PWAs are a nice, or an unfortunate to me, exception to my normal rule of don't enable console logs in production. Because PWAs are really annoying to debug. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like 40% like, but I really hate them there, but whatever. It's fine. Another one filed by me. We'll ignore it. Docs. Is ESLint prettier plugin? ESLint plugin prettier considered a bad practice? Ooh. Let's get contentious. Docs on ESLint plugin prettier. Oop. Is Ramirez on Twitter? Nope. They're on nothing. Did it work? Good for you, Blue Sky. Okay. Is ESLint plugin prettier considered a bad practice? So, I mean, I personally do not recommend it, but under docs, troubleshoot FAQs, no. What about formatting? So we strongly recommend against using ESLint for formatting. We strongly recommend using prettier, dprint, or an equivalent instead. We then explain what a formatter versus a linter is, definitionally. Yeah, this is a good point, actually. So ESLint plugin prettier is a plugin for ESLint that runs prettier as an ESLint rule, which is different from ESLint config prettier. The config is a configuration that turns off all formatting rules that would intersect with prettier. The plugin runs prettier. So big fan of the config, dislike the plugin, personally. So first of all, instead of processing files twice by different processes, I actually wonder if that's true. I don't know if it is or isn't. Does plugin prettier pass the AST directly to prettier? Like, does it do a separate pass? Let's see how it works. So blah blah blah, source code.text. So prettier format is requires creates. So we're loading prettier in. Prettier format, which is so which takes in the text. So wrong. Has anyone mentioned it? Process. So I've added FAQs. Oh. I just forgot to mention this is accepting. Oh. And. Nope. The prettier plugin actually passes a string directly to prettier. So this is quite unfortunate. Honestly, I'm going to send this PR right now because I feel strongly about this issue. So where is it again? In the create prettier format. Permalink. Source. Nope. Nope. The prettier plugin actually passes string directly to prettier. Just making sure prettier format is called. Yep. Here. I meant to mark this as accepting PRs earlier, I think. We'll send a PR now. Thanks, y'all. A lot of documentation today. Accepting PRs, assign myself. Alright, so just making sure I've like understood what other people have said. So yeah, Josh is correct. There is a note on troubleshooting perf. The ESLint plugin does a prettier format on every file being linted. That means the file will be parsed twice. Yes. We run list difference. Avoid rules like blah blah blah. A better way to think of it is a tool that turns ESLint to a task runner that runs prettier. I like that phrasing. We recommend. We can make it so that it's only the formatting rules are right. Yeah, no, I'm advising against the config and the plugin. Oh, that's why I had it under triage to give Josh a chance to respond. But left open in case anybody had more inputs. Got it. That's right. I didn't want to cut anyone off. Okay. So code typescript-eslint. Don't save changes. And where is this? Formatting. Suggested usage prettier. Wait a second. Where? Performance troubleshooting. Okay. Yeah, so in the performance troubleshooting docs, we mentioned the ESLint plugin prettier. Right, so let's enable word wrap. Zoom in for the words. Where do I put this in the what about formatting doc? Session usage prettier. I'm gonna put it as a tip for now. Windows 2000. What was the docs link? Linting troubleshooting formatting. So let's see if this doc. Config prettier is not the same as ESLint plugin prettier. The plugin loads prettier, runs prettier inside ESLint, which we recommend against. See, whatever. And I'll fill those out in a moment. Did I just discover the shortcut to reset Zoom? Oh my god, what did I hit? Ugh! Well, now it's lost. Whatever. Man, I just accidentally zoomed out. Okay. Config includes a set only disables other plugins rules from core and other plugins. The plugin loads and runs in which we recommend against. C And then I wanted to, what is it like? Performance troubleshooting. How do I, can I do a C block? What is, so performance troubleshooting, eslint plugin prettier. Why is there no autocomplete? Anyway, performance troubleshooting. And then the hash is eslint plugin prettier. I'm gonna make a new section for this, actually. Make some list items. In addition to being we don't recommend using eslint plugin prettier. Take that. Open source project people have put time and effort into. I do always feel bad with these recommendations. The plugin running prettier inside eslint can be slow. See. So I'm making 2 seconds list. They're not the same. Here's why. We don't recommend using it. Here's why. Visual mixing, formatting suggestions alongside lint. Formatting suggestions alongside formatting complaints alongside lint rule reports. Is visually confusing, especially to developers who don't understand the two differences, the tooling differences. That phrasing I feel a little better about. Look at how small the heading is. Okay. Yeah, but I want it to be nested. Is it small because it's code? Yeah. Oh well. Funny how the heading has the exact same font size as the body text just after it. Okay, yep. So this is docs. Okay, check out B, formatting, docs, eslint plugin prettier. Docs, recommend against eslint plugin prettier and formatting guide. Okie dokie. Where's that issue? There it is! 7403. Good stuff. Adds a bit of look at those buttons. Someone is display flexing. Explanation around the difference between the config and plugin. This is super nitpicky, but I'm going to alphabetize my list items. Also having the link at the end is a little better, I think, for the docs. That way it's like a see this next that comes at the end rather than distractingly in the middle. So people like get distracted in the middle of reading. Alright. So Actually, I should make sure that that link actually worked, and I don't remember if I did. Anyway, I've been streaming for an hour 20 minutes. I'm a little tired, so I think I'm gonna do like maybe one more juicy issue, a couple if it's not super juicy. So let me know if there's anything y'all want me to see. Ah, there it is. Linting troubleshooting, performance troubleshooting. There it is. It should have been our local link, and then nice. Now it works. Okay. Let's amend that commit. Okie dokie. The amount of PRs I've sent about documentation around what's good for linting versus formatting versus the tools. Absurd. There you go. Ended up just sending the docs PR myself. Okay. Also, oops, I've been tagging Jake the whole time. Ah! Don't have to. Cool. Sorry, Jake, if you're watching. Blue sky. It annoys me every time it happens, this little crash of theirs. Okie dokie. Docs. Modify examples for explicit module boundary types. That's a little vague. This, okay, this one no one has responded to. It's been a little over a month. Oops. Awkward. No Twitter link. More docs. About examples in what is it, explicit module boundary types. Oop. Mouse was getting all tangled locally. I've been refreshing on Blue Sky just in case there's some kind of weird cache persistence thing. All right, what's going on with 7430? People who post screenshots, what are you expecting to happen here? What if I'm blind? Is there alt text? Doesn't seem to be. Nope. One of these days I'm going to write a bot that auto closes issues that have screenshots of text that aren't labeled appropriately. Which is basically always going to close them, I would assume. So a few notes. Please don't post screen cap pictures. They're not discoverable. They don't show up in search results and are not accessible to folks with folks who can't visually perceive them. So it looks like they already sent a PR for this. But anyway, explicit module boundary types, entire explicit return argument. Is that what the rule says? Let's look. Rules, explicit module boundary types. Funny that I have it in my history. Okay, so that screenshot is. So incorrect, correct. Showed incorrect, indicate that no value is returned void. Correct function is not exported. Okay, so I do see here there's an issue with the docs in that they don't really match up. Like, it should show a void or something, like an equivalent of that. They had difficulty understanding it when I first encountered it due to unclear or non-intuitive examples. When writing code, the message returned out of function. Furthermore, in the third image, the comment should indicate that no value is returned void. One way to address the issue is to avoid exporting. However, I believe it's more appropriate to follow the approach described in the doc. Explicitly specifying. Okay, yep. So, for after. Where are they getting this image? Where is that coming from? Is that from the PR they sent? Checklist. Oh, they sent the PR and then I asked. Asked them for an issue. Got it. Okay. And I marked it as awaiting response. No longer seems to be awaiting response. I think they pushed a commit, so I'll take another look. And no need for emoji. Okay, so reference. The screenshots are of the existing rule docs in production right now. Okay, so now I'm just reviewing a PR. That's fine. So if change makes everything exported, so the second case is lost. If you wish, that we can go. Surfacing Josh Sina's comment here. I'm actually gonna quote reply. Agreed. Hey, it's good to have symmetry and correct examples, so readers can understand how to fix incorrect code. Okay, so now I'm just reviewing the PR, so that's not so bad. Explains why the PR number is 26 smaller than the issue number. And the corresponding PR. So I feel less bad about the issue sitting for so long. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Just modify the PR so that it does adhere to the checklist. No need for those issues. Issue around formatting. Let's take a look at the deploy, which, fun fact, is on Netlify, so let's just send it there. So this is confusing to me now, that there are two sections for this. So one is, so they're both, so the first one is showing adding the, okay, so just going through in order, this first one, comment is, fine. The second one, we switch. Okay, I'm gonna need to start taking notes or something. So for the first in order work function test. Great. Great. Seconds. Odd. Okay. Odd that the correct version is different. I'd say the latter. I'd say it should probably instead have an explicit return type. Thoughts? For the third arrow function, that seems fine. Fine. Great. Wonder if we can delete the number 2 export default function. Oh, what? Since this arrow fn shows also serves the purpose of showing different syntax. Then, yep, for row with great. Same with this. Wait. Why is it any? Why is any actually? That shouldn't be. I don't think that causes a. Oh, it should be typed with a non-any type. Love it. Great. Uh, 5, 6. Mostly great, but can you move the comments to the correct codes comment to just above method? It's confusing. I'm about to see it change location. The new location is inaccurate to what the comment says. So then the second one is looking at this first code. Yeah, this is going to be my last PR that I review today. Okay. First set of tabs. I also wonder if it would be, yeah. I should probably indicate which ones are requesting changes. So I'm going to put pencil emoji next to the ones that I'm suggesting changes for. Ooh, anyhow, first set pair of tabs. Added indicates a request for changes. I also find it confusing how datboy420. If that's not the username of the Times, I don't know what it is. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. How's it going? I'm reviewing a pull request that updates some docs. How this second pair of tabs has such different code between incorrect and correct. Oh, you from Philly? Yeah, Iffy Books. Philly JS, let's go. Philly JS. We've got an Indie Hall, another meetup in 2 days with Matt Brophy from Remix. Awesome. Philly represents. How's it going? Datboy420. Great name. Oh. Also, I just confused my mind. Indie Hall and Iffy Books. Indie Hall is where the Philly JS meetup is. I'm one of the organizers. I made the website. Or co-made, rather. Iffy Books is where we have a hack night. I've only been at one of the Iffy Book hack nights of the 2, so that narrows you down to like a dozen people or so. Sad you can't make it, though. Message me in the Slack. So yeah, I find it confusing how the second code block has, and all it's trying to convey is that an alternative to adding an explicit type annotation is to just not export a function. Maybe that could be, instead of having a whole second, can I ask who you are? Are you anonymous? Which person from the group? tabs pair we instead. A single mention to the could be made in the first one. Tabs pair. Like, I think that'd be easier to read and would result in fewer and a more streamlined docs page. You know, I got a little energy. Nah, I'm not gonna keep streaming after this. You hit me at the end. Graham! Welcome. Oh, Jen's reading. I guess I have to keep streaming now. Oh, I love Ron. Ron is great. Ron was contributing to, back then it was called Template TypeScript Node app for a bit. Now it's Create TypeScript app. But hello, stream readers from Jen. Thanks for coming over. Sorry I missed Jen's stream. Jen, if you're here, sorry. I wanted to attend yours. I just had a whole bunch of stuff come up. Jen is here. Shout out Jen. You hit me at a good time in that I'm like ramping down. But I'll go through a couple issues for y'all. Thanks for the issue and discussion. I like the direction this is. You've been talking to me, so y'all know who I am. That's cool. I like this. Just requesting some touch-ups to streamline a bit. Thanks. Alright, so thanks. But yeah, hi Raiders. For anyone who doesn't know who I am, who wasn't hanging out with Jen, I'm Josh. Hello. I'm a full-time open source maintainer. I'm independent, so I'm not working for any single company. I work in the TypeScript/web ecosystem in general on tooling such as typescript-eslint. I'm a regular streamer. I hang out with Jen to teach TypeScript because I wrote a book, Learning TypeScript. Yay! And today what I'm going through is the list of issues that need to be triaged on typescript-eslint. Fun stuff. If I've got another... How long do I have? I've got like another 4-5 minutes. So I'll try to get through one or two more. But yeah, if y'all want to talk about anything TypeScript, open source, dev. I was just chatting with Graham, DatBoy420, about Philly.js. Cool. Got through a few of these. Docs. This one is from me, so I'll skip it. So yeah, let's take a look at a TypeScript-eslint rule. This will be like a good stream wrap-up introduction for all y'all. So I'll just post it in the chat. I also post everything on all three of Twitter, Mastodon via Elk, and Blue Sky. So probably one last issue triage for the day, looking at a feature request for no base 2 string. And did the mythologist have a link in their profile? Nope. Today was a productive stream in that I have a lot of links that I've been posting. Will Blue Sky crash? No, it won't. Good for you. Ah, yes it does. Blue Sky. Okay, no base to string. Link to the rules docs, always convenient. I've been looking for good OSS projects to work on for Hacktoberfest. Will TypeScript-eslint be participating? Great question. I don't know. We haven't talked about it. For a while, it was just everyone is participating, so we were. I'm kind of... Oh, I'm Joshua K. Goldberg on everything, including Twitch. I don't know if I'll participate. We get a lot of low-quality crap, to be honest, with Hacktoberfest, and we're not an easy repo to get started in. Like, we make it as easy as possible. We have contributing guides, dev docs, good first issues, and so on. But, like, most of the time to contribute to us, you need to, at the very least, know the combination of TypeScript and ESLint. Or at the very least, like, ESLint AST stuff, which is, like, not super common. It's very good, useful info, and it's not inherently more difficult than any other, like, area of tech to learn. It's just, you know, not everyone knows that, and it can be falsely intimidating. So I don't know. My personal repos, I definitely will. But yeah, no base to string. What is this rule? Requires toString to only be called in objects would provide useful information when stringified. So like if you try to stringify like just an object, let's look at it in the console. X equals happy true, x2 string as object, and this is because object.prototype to string. Can you call it on its own? Yeah, that becomes object. So like the default to string. So this person is saying, in our no base to rules, we have an option. Where's the option? Ignore type names. So you can ignore these things. And that can be useful if like URL search params, the built-in one, you want to stringify by default. And if you extend from ignore type name, they're saying you should also be allowed to. Why did they? New rule option. No playground link. Let's look at the rule. Ooh, 2 first-time chats. Hello, thanks for joining, y'all. Black Shadow for real. I'm a full-time open source dev. Yep, I am. Took a little while to get here. I had an actual full-time job, one before that. Previously, I was at Codecademy, staff web platform developer, some title like that. And then prior to that, I was at Microsoft. Nice to see someone who loves open source and works with it. Felipe F on 10. How do you say that? Thank you. Yeah, likewise. Who has all the time they want in this world? Class, new class. I'll just copy this. Boop. And then, yeah, it's complaining. And then if we configure it to ignore type names, new class, it should. Why is it complaining now? Missing an end array. There it is. So now that we've configured it, constant class equals new class. A little confusing of the terminology here, but that's fine. So yeah, the option says this shouldn't complain, but they're saying this shouldn't complain. Extended class also. All right. I think it would be. You work with ExpressOTS. What is ExpressOTS? What is that? A Node.js framework? That's cool. Is it like Express but TypeScript? Oh, I love that logo. I don't remember trying to scroll the page down. Weird. Love that logo. That's cool. MIT licensed. Inversify. Love Inversify. That's a great project. The containers loading. That's probably what stole my focus, actually. Is there a bug in Stacklets? Yeah, look at that. It scrolled me down. Rude. Anyway, that's not your fault. That's Stacklets' fault. That's cool. Yeah, so this is like all type safe, I'm guessing. Very nice. Inversify binding decorators. Love to see it. Cool. All right, yeah. So no one's responded here. It's been open for a month. Awkward. Sorry, the mythologist. I gotta go in a minute. So I'll say, yeah, this seems reasonable. I think this is reasonable as a new opt-in option, but don't think we want it enabled by default. Thoughts, Triage team? I don't know. I haven't had particularly strong thoughts on this, since at least Brad has had more thorough thoughts than me in this area before. So yeah, I'll post it back to the Triage team, see what they think. Yeah. So 1 approval. Nah, that's not the right label. None of this matters since Bun came out. Oh, I know you're joking, but a lot of people aren't. People think Bun's going to destroy Node and whatever. Bun's awesome, but it is a competitor in the industry. Cool, yeah, no, I got to go, but this was an absolute pleasure. Thanks, y'all. I see Acorn and Finite are streaming, so I'm just going to post there. But to summarize, this has been a pleasure. Thanks to everyone who joined. Sorry that I had to leave right when you rated Jen. But if you want to see more from me, subscribe, like, all those things. I'm Joshua K. Goldberg on all the things. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Fostodon, Blue Sky, GitHub.com, all of that. Bye, y'all.